Alright, hello and welcome to the Backpack.tf podcast, take 3. I'm Angelmander, I'm here with Toby
Hello.
and Draco Blaze today. He's our
Hola.
special guest.
I'm special.
Anyway, we're here to talk about the Invasion update, which is pretty exciting since it just came out today. It's great that we have the opportunity to talk about it while it's so new and exciting. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's
But
jump
for all
right
you
into
guys, it'll be boring and lame because, today is yesterday. But if today is yesterday, then what is tomorrow?
Today is tomorrow, technically, because this is not getting uploaded tonight, unless Toby...
I don't know, Toby, are you a god? Angel has told me that you are a god at this.
Am I?
I think I gave you some high praise after the first one, even though I thought my performance...
Don't bury me in my grave early.
What?
Don't bury my grave early, please.
Anyway...
But we can, the Halloween update is afoot.
Alright, so we have a new unusual effect called Nebula, which is... It's like a menagerie of scorching and some... not scorching, eerie flames, like the one that was released to the workshop, and some other purple effect. It's got like little tiny white sparkles in it, but they're not really starry sparkles. They're just...
Is that...
like
No,
dots.
Nebula, I would more describe it as like the eerie combined with like the shades from Purple Energy.
Chiroptera venenata, right? The purplish from that. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
Just the little
With the glow from Purple Energy.
Wait. Oh my god, I said Chiroptera. I keep going with the green effects instead of the purple. I meant Poisoned Shadows. My god, that's the easier one to say. Why did I go with... Anyway, it's not really a flaming effect.
It's because you're a bit batty.
Like, it's kind of like the ooze effects, except they're flamey, but they just kind of sit there and move around. It's actually very nice. The colors seem to warp into themselves and back flipping. And there's another effect called Codex. It's a whole bunch of green symbols that seem to fade in and out of existence in a circle. There are some symbols, one of them looks like a horizontal line with a sickle coming off of it. I won't try to describe them all, but they're just green symbols, kind of like the Matrix, but without the zeros and ones, and they're not falling and leaving trails. Another effect called Boogaloo Boogaloop is basically a reference to the Electric Boogaloo update, which released Electrostatic. It looks exactly like Electrostatic, except it seems to be... The video that I'm watching of it, it looks like a straight line, but more than likely it's a halo, and it's just a reskin or a redo of Electrostatic. And another one of the effects is... What is it? Nucleus. No, it's not. What was it? What was that one called? Oh man. Well, I'll describe it, and then maybe if the name comes
Neutron.
to me... No, it was...
I could actually tell. Give me a second. Someone just linked me to this.
Anyway, it's basically... your head becomes
atomic.
Atomic. Your head becomes the nucleus of an atom, and little electrons fly around. They're presumably electrons. What other particle circles the nucleus in such a fashion?
So
and
is it
the
like
final
planets?
effect released... What?
No, it's not. It is not like Planet. It's more of like if you can you imagine just electrons rotating around?
The one where those...
Yeah, it's
those
like Screaming
balls go
Tiger, except
flying
smaller.
around. Yes,
Oh,
very
okay.
small around the head, and they leave very large trails. And there seems to be like some kind of blue electrical charge through the trails, which is quite cool. And the last effect released is the most alien-themed, in my opinion. It's called Abduction, I think. It's like Spellbound, except it's lasers instead of sparkles, and it seems to revolve in a circle. I can't tell. No, it's not revolving. It's lasers shooting straight up with circles that pinch inward and go upward at the same time. And there's a small animal that seems to be suspended inside, being abducted.
That's a cow, and this is basically green energy.
It's not... Spellbound
It's green
could
energy.
equate green energy in that case, because it's very reminiscent of... Oh my god! I can't keep my unusual effects straight today. Arcana, not Spellbound. Please don't...
Really? Are we in Dota now?
Anyway, moving onward, let's talk about the weapons from the new update, and the cases that they don't come from. I'm an idiot. Anyway, let's talk about...
Okay. You want to... Alright, I'll go right ahead. So, Some of these, actually, all of these weapons are found in the new cases.
Are you? Oh, whoops.
Good
Nice.
job. Thank you for
I
that.
was thinking it was all the cosmetics, and I wanted to correct myself. Oh well.
So yes, we have a good list of shit tier items. So yeah, there's 16 new cosmetic items, which is horribly low, with only, I want to say, 1, 2, 3, 4 being decent out of the 16. So we got 25%. That's enough for that's a passing grade, I think.
Passing grade.
Passing.
Passing. I mean, when you can't count to 3, I think 25% is passing.
What? Okay.
So there was a small, a little glitch because Valve can't go and update without screwing something up.
And they released craft numbers for some items that weren't supposed to have them, namely the shooting star, which seems to be the most popular so far.
That's right.
Number 1 is actually owned by a person who has no intention of selling it. He was apparently offered 100 keys by Bobsplosion, and then who was it that offered the 1,000 keys and stuff?
I don't know.
Just name off the items, because
I don't know. I don't have that open. You wanted to talk about it. You go for it.
Well, it was at least 5 or 6 unusuals, and then 1,000 keys and items, said Draco earlier today, or tonight.
You know what else I said? That the shooting star was the only one with craft numbers.
I thought you said that one of the other weapons had craft numbers.
No, I said the other weapons were craftable.
I just associate crafting with craft numbers. Anyway,
so
I'm really horribly misinformed about TF2 stuff. I don't even know why I'm running a podcast for TF2.
I don't even know why we assign the certain bits to talk about them. You invaded on my.
Absolutely nailed my part.
This is my area. I call it Ukraine. And see, you're Russia right now.
All right.
Topical, late by like several months.
Okay, let's just back down a bit, Chase.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, let's have Draco continue on.
So yeah, the angel in the corner here, like he just said. So there were 3 items out of the 4 brand new weapons that all were released and are craftable for about a period of 11 to 13 minutes, given on when the Steam item servers went down for you. So the Bat Saber, scout weapon, really, really standard. It's a bat. It's the Boston Basher. Actually, no, it's not. That's a horrible. No. It's a stock reskin. It's a lightsaber. Basically, and it's great. You don't play competitive, so you don't play competitive, so you don't actually see how well it's useful. You don't actually play with a stack. You don't play TF2 at all. Why are you commenting on our weapons?
Because you can't hit the walls intimidatingly to scare the enemy team without hurting yourself.
Okay, you're running at someone with a bat with spikes in it.
Yeah, but I've wielded axes and not hit myself by swinging them. Why should I hit myself with a bat with nails? I don't hit myself with the end of the object that I swing. If I did, that would be very stupid. And I wouldn't be qualified to swing that item.
That's the whole purpose of the weapon. The whole purpose of the weapon is just so that your medic can build uber faster.
Alright. I know.
So yeah, each of these weapons, since we have the Bat Saber, the Shooting Star, the Geiger counter, and the Capper, they all come with unique deaths for the people you kill. So the Bat Saber disintegrates people. The Shooting Star turns people to ash. The Capper turns people to ash. And the Geiger does something with the sentry gun. But yeah, the Geiger is a reskin of the Wrangler. The Capper is a reskin of the stock pistol. And the Shooting Star is the reskin of the fan-favorite Machina.
Machina. I like Machina better.
Machina.
I guess this isn't the place to enforce my opinion anyway. Alright.
Isn't it? I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Okay. Are you done with the cosmetics?
No.
Oh, damn.
That wasn't the weapons.
So, amongst other things, there is a brand new taunt. It is called the Burst Chester. And it is exactly what you probably think it is. A little alien just pops out of your chest.
Honestly, I'd be more afraid to get my limbs cut off than to have an alien burst from my chest. I mean, I feel
An alien
dreadfully...
bursting from your chest means you're dead anyway.
Yeah, but I feel horribly uncomfortable when I imagine my limbs getting chopped off. But having something burst from my stomach, I don't feel like
See,
nauseous or uncomfortable about.
I think you would feel nauseous because if your limbs are getting chopped off, tis only a flesh wound.
It's not just a flesh wound.
It's merely a flesh wound.
I don't think you can call it a flesh wound when it cuts through muscle and bone, too.
I really think I can.
Well, you can call it whatever you want, but it's not true.
Okay, I'm just going to let this end right now since that clearly went over his head very, very far and very, very fast. So we have strange filters now for each one of the new maps as well. And we have 2 new cases, the quarantine case and the confidential case. Now, for the confidential case, that contains the brand new Taunt as well as the Bat Saber, the Space Hamster Hammy, the Jupiter Jetpack, the Phononaut, the pistol reskin, which is the Capper, a head full of hot air, the Space Diver, Cadet Vision, and the Grailian.
You know, I just have to interject here. Was the reference that you were making to that Monty Python skit where the guy gets his limbs cut off and he's hopping around?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I realized it after you said it went over my head. I wasn't thinking about it in that sense until...
I get it. You weren't thinking. Can I get a sound clip of that later? Of just Angel saying, I wasn't thinking?
It's all yours.
Thank you. All right. We need to save that. All right, and for the quarantine case, we have the Sucker Slug, the Corona Australis, the Starduster, the Geiger counter, God, it's spelled wrong. It's annoying. Which is the Wrangler replacement, the Shooting Star, which is the Machina replacement, Captain Spaceman, Rocket Operator, Life Support System, Final Frontiersman, Phobos Filter, and Universal Translator. And they all require a special key, which is the Invasion Community Update key. And to even get these crates as drops, you need the Invasion Community Update Pass. Which...
In other words, give Valve money.
Gift Valve money. But it's really nice, because this one is only $2, because the event is shorter.
Yeah, it's only 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what now?
What now?
Yeah.
Well, now we go play and invade the pubs.
Let's talk about the maps, speaking of pubs.
Okay, so speaking of the maps, I actually been on 3 of them, 3 of the 4. So the maps are 2 Fort Invasion, Watergate, Probed, and Buyer. So the first one, 2 Fort Invasion, if you would just imagine like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with like that ooze stuff all over the place, and that scene in the Thor movie where they have like everything around that hammer and they're trying to examine it, all that like hazmat stuff.
You're making a lot of references that a lot of people might not get. Also, where do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come into this?
Well, because, in the show, and like the more recent one, they have like containers of ooze that like mutate people, and that stuff's like all over the map.
Do you actually mutate, though?
No.
That sucks.
I know. Well,
That's
technically the
sad.
cosmetics
2 Fort's
are
a
the
really great
mutations.
map. It's such a great map. I love the design.
Oh, man. 2 Fort is great. It is clearly the best map that you can ever play on TF2 on an Xbox 360.
I'm going to pretend that you're not being sarcastic and
No,
talk
I'm
about
being
the fact
legitimate.
that,
Everything else sucks.
that I
They haven't
just-
touched that in forever.
If you go into Spectate and you fly around 2 Fort and just look at the design, go into the basement and look in through the window in the hallway, like near the intelligence, and you just see all of those unused machines, and it just gives me a sense of nostalgia. Even though it's not nostalgic per se, it's just the idea of things that were once used and now aren't is very interesting to me.
That's
I love
right.
2 Fort.
Angel loves to just take his time and look through windows.
And not think.
And nothing! And be nearby the intelligence.
Okay.
So, yeah. Are you the NSA?
Are you?
I'm not allowed to answer that question.
Shit, we gotta go.
Got it. We gotta go
Okay.
now.
So continuing on from the 2 Fort Invasion map, despite of all the tryhards, it was actually pretty fun, even though it's just basically a reskin. So moving on, we have Watergate. It looks very seasidic, whatever that is. and it looks rather European style. And that's about it, because I haven't played on it. So now we have Probed. This one I got to play on. It was actually kind of fun. So the tryhards followed me to this map. So on the point, everything's like really around the corner. So around the corner, you die or something like that. But the main thing that caught my interest is like when you're capping the point, around like a certain time, the spaceship above it will like beam down a tractor beam, and it'll pull up all the players on the point into it, and then everyone's dumped in this room.
Just out of curiosity, can you escape the beam once it's come down, or are you stuck in it without escape?
Yeah,
also, once the beam has initiated, can someone else hop in who wasn't capping the point with you, like, and try to get in?
I would assume so.
Can you taunt while being tractor beamed?
Ooh, I'll try that next time.
You've got to, because then you can escape it through death. Just soldier.
Then you can be so arrogant that you don't even care about your well-being and just taunt as you're about to die.
Yeah, just do the Kazatsky kick all the way in.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, a conga.
What is
a conga? A spiral conga all the way up.
A spiral conga? Is that what the Kazatsky kick is?
Yes.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, so once you're in this spaceship, there's like a few health packs here and there. You can run around, and there's color-coded doors based on your team. You go through one of them, and you'll get like a bonus. Like you'll be overcharged for temporarily. You'll have like crits and stuff like that, and you'll be beamed down in a random spot on the map. So you can start running around and killing the people who don't know what the fuck just happened. And that's it for Probed. So now we have Buyer. I'm not sure which game mode this one is, but it's like, I think it's one of those arena respawn things, except you don't respawn. So there's like a 24 player cap, and max people you can play on the map, and then they divide it all of you into 3 teams. So the third team goes spectator, and then the 2 of the teams start playing right away. So it's like an 8v8, yeah, 8 versus 8. And then you don't respawn during the round. So like once the other team is completely wiped out, or your team caps both points, that's when you win. And then since you win, you can play again the next round. And then the team that's going spectator will go in and start playing the team that won.
Does the team that is playing spectator do anything special, or are they strictly watching?
Yeah, they're just watching.
It reminds me of that thing with Team, like, I think it was Team Fortress Brotherhood of Arms or something like that, and it was going to be one person who watched over the whole game and advised their team, or 2 people, and they would advise their team on what to do, and they would be the commander, and then there would be all kinds of different classes that people could take, and it was going to be a completely different game till they scrapped it. But I guess it's not anything like that, and I just went on a tangent.
Yes. Okay.
They probably less than 50 crafted bat sabers. That's all I can think about at the top of my head.
Earlier you were talking about the specialized kill streak one. Someone applied the universal kit. Can they not be applied? Is that why you said it was
No,
rare?
they can. It's just it costs a lot.
How much are the kits?
The specialized kill streak kits?
Yeah.
What was the last one that sold for? Give me 3 seconds.
That's more than 3.
No, it's not.
Slide.
Now it's 3.
They're $30.
Oh,
the universal kits are $30 for the special.
I remember when they were selling for like 12. I could have bought some too. I really should have. I could have added 50% to my backpack on that. Well, thanks for listening to the podcast today. I'm glad to be your host, I guess. That's fun. Maybe I'm not. We're sorry that it took so long to get this podcast out. It's just been really hard for us all to get in a Skype call at once and have the motivation to pull this off. It's a lot harder to speak publicly, even just being recorded, than you would imagine. But we're happy to be doing this. Thanks for listening. I think I repeated myself. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.